Welcome, my chickie babies and winsome woodpeckers.
Hey, you bird bitches!
We've got Season 4, Episode 6 of The Morning Show on tap with our non-spoiler review, spoiler recap, and spoiler review. If you'd like to see more deep dives into The Morning Show, click here, and remember to like and subscribe. I'm Mei, this is Quork, we are RavenWing, and onward to our non-spoiler review. What's breaking down at UBA? It's not just the tech. This week's The Morning Show dives into ambition, how it twists, tempts, and traps every character. Chris's secret shook things up last week, and Alex wheels and deals. But is it with the devil? Mia and Chris push harder, but are they running out of runway? Stella steps back into the game with new moves. Chip and Bradley keep searching, and Cory's digging for gold, but will they all come up as fools? This episode blends confrontation and ambition into a lumpy, tilted smoothie, but who's having breakfast?
Where's my damn breakfast?
The following content contains a boatload of spoilers. You've been warned. Chickie babies, here's a question for the comments. What did you expect Celine to do when she found out about Stella and Miles' affair? For me, not this. She is surprisingly calm. She instead pushes Stella for a win when Team Mia and Chris's demands have created an impossible game. And Stella flat out turns them down. But guess who she and Celine want to replace Chris? Yep, Bro Hartman.
God, he's worse than I am!
And how do Alex's negotiation go with him? There's enough electricity to reanimate her bad taste in men, and his demand? Only to host the 2024 presidential debate. She says she'll think about it, but whether it's sex or the debate, who knows? However, Team Establishment have an ace up their sleeves. There's no way the bro will be approved by the CPD, but he sniffs this out and walks. And when Stella vents to her personal AI about her CEO screw-ups and affair and then lets it address the O24 audience live, it leads to this explosion. Somehow, a rival reporter with inside info on Chris Hunter's boycott on the event grills her on it, causing the glitchy AI to blab everything live on UBN's O24 broadcast.
Why does everyone on this show get exposed on live TV?
It's their thing. But the question's not why, it's who. The insider info came from Mia, who traded it to Chip, who gave it to the reporter in exchange for the identity of the mystery whistleblower. And this whistleblower turns out to be a scientist from Martel, the chemical company behind Wolf River. What does Stella do after all the hoopla? She resigns and leaves for Naples. Miles is invited, but after a heartfelt plea from Celine, he chooses her. And Stella's left crying at the airport. And in the end, Stella's voiceover has been a letter to Mia, spilling her private trials and tribulations and giving her a flash drive and an invite to apply for the new CEO position. With the Wolf River ghost resurfacing and UBN on the edge of collapse, who do you think should take the throne? Meanwhile, angered by what he learned from Bradley, Cory digs into the Wolf River thread and through his mother ties Celine and her family to Fred's hiring of himself. Celine easily wins him over, however, with money for his movie and studio. Last week, The Morning Show broke our hearts with its deep dive into Chris Hunter's confession. But Stella's story might be even more haunting. What was supposed to be a glossy tech rollout to a live audience of reporters puts on full display not only the threat AI might pose, but Stella's every hidden wound and her very human error in trusting her career and private thoughts with the AI. Stella's storyline is devastating, not because of the affair with Miles, but because it has been earned over the seasons, and it's really about her broken dreams and broken heart.
What about my broken stomach? Roadkill, please!
Cory offered Stella the dream of pushing stories she cared about, but it has been torn down bit by bit. Cory forced her to talk with Paul Marks, her former employer/tormentor, plus bro tech guys wouldn't agree to an ad deal until she paid another Asian woman to lick up spilled martini. Celine, wanting the UBN CEO position for herself, forced Stella to deny Mia the newshead position, ruining their friendship. Through these impossible situations and decision-making, Stella's ideals have been crushed underfoot. During the episode, we follow her own poetic voiceover, and she is quite aware that her ambition and instinct for self-preservation have turned her into another tool for the establishment, a tool she calls her inner white dude, which she reviles but can't stop acting as. Mia even calls her out for this, and Stella fully agrees. This episode's not just calling out toxic corporate culture, but how toxic it is to the soul of a woman of color to try to even survive or dare to succeed in it. How many decisions for the sake of saving money, face, or even herself are soul killers? Stella's rash decision to let her AI avatar speak really symbolizes how wearing the false mask of corporate identity will ultimately tear you apart. And Stella's absolute isolation and her inability to relax for even a minute and drop this white dude mask is also what drives Miles into Celine's arms. She offers him forgiveness, while Stella's too afraid to even take a risk with him until it's too late. When Cory confronts his mother, it's fun to see him swing from irritated to contrite when he finds her Death with Dignity brochure. And again, all the threads are connected. The writers have woven it so the question about Chris's boycott that rips open Stella's wounds is triggered by inside info from Mia, which Chip traded to a rival reporter for the identity of the mystery whistleblower. But of course, she's a former employee of the evil chemical company and terrified. But finally, when all seems lost, Stella is free to make amends with Mia, to be herself in baggy jeans and drop the mask and actually feel, then fly. It's a sharp indictment of modern success. In climbing higher, we fuse ourselves to the machine, grinding endlessly until freedom demands we let it all go. And so, because I'm all in for this beautiful, tragic, horrifying farewell to Stella, I'm giving the episode a 10.
0 for getting rid of the only Asian character on the show.
He's got a point. So, 0.5 off for that, for a total of 9.5 for me. Well, my birds of a feather, we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to know more about Hawaiian culture, please watch Chief of War and our reviews of it here. Thank you so much for your time here, and from us to you,
Adios, MFs!
aloha oi.